Season 25 of Apex has been out for 1 day, and things are already starting to get a little bit weird. New weapon hop-ups don't work, Sparrow can infinitely wall climb, and are people getting scammed by Apex packs? Well, we've got plenty of things to look at. First of all, the Hemlock got a slight buff in Season 25, because it can now take the gun shield hop-up. However, this just doesn't work at all. In-game, in the firing range, no matter what, if you equip the gun shield, it won't actually have a gun shield. There is no gun shield when you aim down sight, and I even tested to see if maybe it was there, but it was invisible. And no, even when the dummies shot me, there was no gun shield whatsoever. Now, this was a bug in the early access when we got to play it, but I thought that would be fixed in the final build. But moving on, there's something that I don't think was intentional, and that is with the new legend Sparrow, because he can infinitely wall climb as if he was Revenant. So Sparrow does have a pretty cool passive. He can double jump, but also he has a separate wall bounce kind of jump, and I assume the code for this wall bounce jump has actually affected his wall climbing, because now it's possible to wall climb insane heights with Sparrow just by simply moving from corner to corner. If you find a wall with 2 edges, all you have to do is wall climb, and then when you start running out of wall climb, just move to the other side of the wall, and you can just keep climbing as if you just started. And as long as you keep moving between surface, you can just wall climb for ages. Now, I think eventually you become fatigued, but I don't think there's really any walls in Apex that are high enough for you to ever reach that limit. I was testing this out in the firing range, and it really just is as simple as that. You find any wall that has a corner or a slight lip or anything like that, and you can just keep moving between it and just climb as much as your heart desires, literally like Revenant. And this has to be a bug, because I also found out that if you wall climb a Sparrow and then use his wall jump thing to jump to a higher point on the wall, it then creates a new save point on that wall, so you can keep wall climbing from that point, and then every time you fall back down, you can carry on wall climbing when you reach that point. I don't think that was necessarily intentional, and it allows you to basically just hang on really high walls for ages, if you'd like. So that's the goofy tech we found with Sparrow at the moment. Another cool thing with Sparrow that is fully intentional is the fact that your momentum is conserved when you use the double jump, meaning on Storm Point, when you hit the gravity cannons, you can go super far. By just hitting your double jump at any point in the air, you'll conserve the momentum and you'll go much further than the original gravity cannon intends you, so making Storm Point just that bit more fun when playing Sparrow. Unfortunately, the fun stops when the entire server crashes almost every game, and there's a reason this is happening in Season 25, because there's a bug that happens when you ult as Sparrow and fire your stinger at a Mirage ult. It just breaks the whole game, the whole server crashes, and that's why you might have been experiencing the entire game crash in a lot of your games this season. Devs, please fix. Now, I also want to take a look at how the new weapon changes have actually affected the gameplay, starting with the P2020. Now, the Akimbo P2020s have been absolutely dominant since they released, and to try and combat this, Apex nerfed them by reducing their magazine size greatly. So, the regular Akimbo P2020s now have 16 ammo in the mag. And what impact did this really have? Well, honestly, they're still super strong, and this change really didn't affect anything. With 16 bullets, you can still very easily one-clip mythic armor, and if you have any kind of magazines on it, then you're really still not going to have a problem, even if you miss a bunch of shots. So yeah, the P2020 probably needs another balance change. The same can't be said for the EVA 8, because the EVA 8 has received a pretty nasty nerf, because they reduced its damage per pellet from 8 to 6, meaning each entire shot has a maximum damage potential of only 48 damage. Now, they did increase the fire rate, however, my honest thoughts on this change is negative for the EVA 8. It honestly feels like a marshmallow cannon, dealing such low damage, it's not forgiving at all. If you don't hit your shots perfectly up super close, you're really going to have a hard time getting kills on people. Now, when you do have a really high level bolt, it does become super fast firing, which definitely can be beneficial, but I just find with the damage nerf, I think the EVA 8 kind of sucks. And I think quite a lot of people agree. Now, are Apex scamming players with the new Apex packs? Because a lot of people seem to think so. The new update saw the addition of more retro packs. These are packs that you can buy, which give you items from old collection events, and if you get all of the items in the retro pack, then you will be given the special reward, whether it's an heirloom or the legendary Loba skin. Those are the final rewards. However, if you actually buy and open these retro packs, people found that it still says you have 0 of the items to get the final reward. So are these packs a scam? Well, this has actually been an issue before Season 25, and the devs did confirm that this is just a visual bug which says that you have none of the items, however you do. The fact that this hasn't been fixed though in a major new season update is honestly appalling. So no, it's not a scam, it's just a visual glitch that really should have been fixed by now. However, in some more lighthearted news, the devs have added the brand new Grey Nessie to the firing range, and here's how to unlock it. All you have to do is load into the firing range, and you can do this with any legend. It doesn't have to be Sparrow, but you want to go to the right to the parkour section and run to the end of the tunnel, and here you'll see Artemis, Sparrow's cat, just chilling, and then he'll meow and run away, and you'll hear this sound to know that it's activated. Then another cat has spawned in the firing range, so you have to go and find it, and it's over here in the middle building, towards the back on top of this item box, and you just have to get close enough and it will run away once again, and then the final cat will appear, and you have to climb up the big hill at the back of the firing range, and once you get near the top here, you'll see Artemis sitting with the Grey Nessie, and that's it. You've completed it. That is the Grey Nessie, the new Easter egg in the firing range. Honestly, I don't know if they're going to keep adding these Nessies with every season, but this one was pretty easy compared to the other ones. And to keep the fun rolling, Pathfinder's new heirloom recolor gives it new animations, including a new secret draw animation that was found by Mac the Boatman, where he punches a confetti gift. Pretty cool. Next up, you may have heard that Sparrow might have a crush on Loba, and this can be seen in-game, because there are some pretty interesting voice line interactions between Sparrow and Loba that have been captured, thanks to Luba for sharing this over on Twitter. Take a listen to these two flirting.
Night Mag here.
For me? Oh, I can't believe it. Grazie.
Oh, sure, it was nothing. Thanks.
Sure, and I'm good at finding stuff, so, you can call me. Like, anytime. No, I won't let you go.
Aren't you helpful? Thank you. Let's go. On your feet.
Am I dead? I'm being helped by an angel.
All right. Get flying, little bird. Thank you.
Oh, nessun problema. Ti amo. I don't usually fall like this, I swear.
That's enough, little bird. Back in the fight.
So yeah, these are some pretty cheesy voice lines, but I'd love to see where this goes. Is Sparrow going to be stepping between the Loba, Valkyrie, and Bangalore love triangle? Honestly, these things are hard to follow. And finally, I wanted to leave you on something pretty cool with Ballistic in the new update. Because the Devotion becomes turbocharged when it gets all purple attachments, it means that if you have the Devotion in Ballistic Sling, and then you get to purple Evo, then the Devotion itself will become turbocharged. Also, if you use your ult with the Devotion in the Sling, that also means it becomes turbocharged as it becomes legendary. So it's definitely a good choice with Ballistic, and the same goes for the bow check. It is true that if you have the bow check in the weapon sling and then pop your ultimate, it will become charged up with a frag grenade, meaning it will have explosive arrows, and of course you'll have the infinite ammo, which is pretty good for the bow check since it has a limited ammo supply. So there we go. What do you think of season 25? Have you noticed any crazy glitches or broken things in the new season? I'm sure you probably have, so let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.